as much as Bears football fans like to live in the 80s, as much as Cowboys fans like to say, how about them Cowboys, and live in the 90s, you know it's a certainty that the NFL season is just going to keep rolling along. And here we are. Let's talk about the week that was, week 5 of the 2023 NFL season. It all started on Thursday night as Justin Fields and DJ Moore connected for 3 touchdown passes as the Bears save Eberflush's job, beating the Commanders 40-20. And let's just say, if you're a Commanders fan, how embarrassed do you have to be right now? You lost to the Bears badly on prime time. Good God. Life sucks for you too. Shifting over to the Sunday action, start off with the early Sunday morning game. The Crumpets must be good to the Jaguars. Maybe they should play all their games in London or in England. Might as well, fuck. Travis Etienne and Calvin Ridley helped lead the way. I think Trevor Lawrence threw for over 300 yards. The Jaguars beat the Bills 25-20, and all of a sudden, here comes Jacksonville picking up some momentum. As you switch over to the regular Sunday afternoon action, Desmond Ridder went over 300 yards. Younghoe Koo had a 37-yard field goal late, helped the Falcons get past the pesky Texans 21-19. The Lions defense forced 4 turnovers. Monty went over 100 yards with a touchdown, and the Lions easily took care of the Panthers. Panthers keep pounding for that number 1 pick. Give it to Chicago, bitches. 42-24. Jonathan Taylor may be back, but Sunday was the Zach Moss show as Anthony Richardson went down again with an injury. Goddamn, can the kid stay healthy? Now it looks like he's going to be out with a shoulder problem for a little bit. Zach Moss, though, had a huge day, helped lift the Colts past the Titans 23-16. Tyreek Hill and Devon Achane had big days for the Dolphins as they swam past the decrepit Giants 31-16. Keep an eye on them in the tanking Caleb Williams sweepstakes. They are certainly not out of it at this point. Let the fire Bill Belichick chants rain down and begin, and they certainly should. The Saints bitch slapped them. They destroyed them. Saints over the Patriots, 34-0. Bill Belichick, the general manager, is the worst general manager in the league. But by God, Bill Belichick, the head coach, is not great enough anymore, apparently, to overcome the terrible general manager there in New England. The Ravens receivers dropped the ball a lot, I think to the tune of 8 drops on Sunday, as the fucking Steelers get a late touchdown catch from George Pickens, and the Steelers somehow win 17-10. That's just ugly, folks. What more can you really say? The Eagles defense shuts down Matthew Stafford and the Rams in the second half, and they move to 5-0 with a 23-14 victory. Joe Burrow goes over 300 yards through the air. The Cardinals just couldn't contain or stop Jamar Chase in any way. Bengals show a little bit of life and win 34-20. Breece Hall ran all over the Broncos defense. The Jets get their second win of the season, 31-21, and way to go, Broncos. Ugh. Justin Jefferson goes down with a hamstring injury. Meanwhile, the Vikings go down to the Chiefs, 27-20. Brock Purdy had a pretty good night. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys did not. The 49ers stomped their ass 42-10. And then on the Monday night game, the Raiders picked off Jordan Love 3 times. They failed to show him any love at all, beating Green Bay 17-13 in what I would classify as a total Monday night mid-off. God, that was really, really bad. Moving on to the stars of the week. I'll go to Brock Purdy first. He didn't have the best stats of the week per se, but I'll give the kid credit for all the talk of Mr. Irrelevant. And frankly, I'm still not fully convinced that he's that type of dude that you could win a championship because of. He certainly is a great fit for Kyle Shanahan in that system, especially with all that talent they have around him. He had 252 passing yards and 4 touchdowns, and certainly could have had a lot more if they wanted to, right? It's been impressive so far. Like, the 49ers look like the team to beat, at least in the NFC and probably in the NFL right now. Like, they look legit. Zach Moss, you got Jonathan Taylor coming back. He signed the contract extension, and here's Zach Moss, 23 carries, 165 yards, 2 touchdowns, threw in another 30 receiving yards. That's a way to make yourself important to the team even when the star comes back. Couple of wide receivers of note, DJ Moore, monster game on Thursday night, 8 catches, 230 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And Jamar Chase against the Cardinals on Sunday, 15 catches, 192 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's number 1 receiver behavior right there. When you look at both of those teams really badly needing a win, so to speak, allegedly, You need your stars to come out and play like stars, and they both did in that moment. And then in terms of defensive units, I'll look at the Saints. They shut out the Patriots, forced 3 turnovers, got a pick 6. The Saints aren't winning pretty, but they are winning some football games right now. In terms of winners and losers for Week 5, I'm going to start off with the winners, and I'll go with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was a big win in London against Buffalo. That was a really big win. That really, really, really could matter as we go further on down the line, as we start talking about tiebreakers and so forth. They needed that win, and they got it. The Pittsburgh Steelers, it wasn't pretty, right? I still don't think the Steelers are very good. Their offense really stinks, but they found a way to win, and they're now sitting at 3-2 in the top the AFC North. It could be a lot worse. That was a big win for them on Sunday. And then, obviously, the San Francisco 49ers. The Cowboys you could perceive potentially as one of the real threats until you remember Dak Prescott's their quarterback. But to do what they did, they're just dismantling folks right now. They just whooped up on the Cowboys. The Cowboys are supposed to have a pretty legit defense, and it didn't matter. They had no answers for the 49ers. It was just crazy. In terms of the losers, the Tennessee Titans, they're sitting at 2-3, like the epitome of where the fuck are you going? What the hell are you doing? You're not going to contend. You're not going to win shit. You're just wasting your own time, your fans' time, and everybody else's time. And oh, by the way, you lost to the Colts who were playing their backup quarterback. Just saying. The Dallas Cowboys, what more do I really need to say? That was a pathetic performance on Sunday night. And speaking of pretty pathetic performances on Monday night, the Green Bay Packers, the Raiders stink. You have to find a way to go into Vegas and win that game. If you want to keep pace with the Detroit Lions in that division, to lose that one and go to 2-3, that just can't happen. Now, to wrap it all up this week, my 2-minute drill, I will start off with this, is that you look at the Cowboys, and that is one of those defining moment games. And that sometimes can happen with a bad loss like that. And that was a bad loss. There is no positive spin you could put on that. That is either the type of game that will galvanize a team. It'll be something that they think about later on down the line. And, very well could face the 49ers again in the playoffs. And when they do, they got something for their ass. But as good and talented as that Cowboys team is, there's just something missing. And to me, that biggest something missing is Dak Prescott. And I know the 49ers offense mollywopped the Cowboys defense. That is true. So I'm not solely putting the blame on Dak. I want to be very clear on that. However, you cannot, in my opinion, watch the Cowboys and look at Dak Prescott and feel right now any level of confidence that the Cowboys could even win a championship with Dak Prescott, let alone because of. Another game in the playoffs against the 49ers, another pathetic, putrid performance. And I'll throw out the question there right now. When you look at teams that could really use a quarterback, to me, the Dallas Cowboys are certainly one of them. If you were the Dallas Cowboys right now, when you go into that 2024 NFL draft, no matter where you fall out, no matter where you're picking, do you think about offering your entire draft to move up to number 1? And maybe like a 2025 first-round pick, a 2026 second-round pick, your entire draft in 2024 to move up to 1 to go get Caleb Williams? The Cowboys allegedly have talent all throughout the roster. It was hard to tell on Sunday night. But they need a superstar quarterback. They're the Cowboys. They're America's team. They don't have that. They have a guy that plays like a 4th-round pick that just has never really progressed or developed in his career. Like Brock Purdy went out there on Sunday night and ran circles around Dak Prescott. And if Dak's going to continue to put the ball into the opponent's hands in bad, big spots, then the Cowboys have to come to the realization that they've got to find that next guy because Dak Prescott ain't that guy.